Bring him if you dare.
Allan Beswick, the Late Night Show.
Preston 561,000.
Red Rose Radio. All night long, all night.
A major problem, as Alcoholics Anonymous and any other researchers in the industry will tell you.
That's right.
If you get hold of a book that is on the shelves at the moment, written by Dr. Vernon Coleman,
Oh, yeah.
and it's about addiction, and if you get hold of that book, I've just remembered the book I read it in,
Yeah.
but there is a section in there denoted to alcohol, because of course people become addicted to alcohol.
Yeah.
And in there he quotes some French government research
Yeah.
that indicates that the alcohol problem,
Yeah.
quote, alcohol, not
Yeah.
alcoholism, but the alcohol problem in France is massive, and by comparison with the British government figures, in no way compares. Now that is quoted direct from French government research.
So let me get it right. You're saying there's more people in France who have a drink problem, but there's less actual alcoholics who openly admit that they have a drink problem. We've got more of them.
No, I don't actually say that.
Sorry.
What I do say is that there are more people in France
Yeah.
with a drink problem. The term the term alcoholic actually means nothing to me.
No.
It is a status quo which one doesn't acquire as such, but actually comes to term with. You just adopt a title. There are more people in France without that title and with it who do have a drink problem. Combine them all together, because you're differentiating between the alcoholic and someone who has an alcohol problem.
In the Northwest, you know what's best. Red Rose Radio. A far, far better furniture store.
Edmondson's of Blackburn, a far, far better furniture store. For lounge, dining room and bedroom furniture, for famous names in quality carpets, for all home furnishings. Edmondson's offers choice. Edmondson's gives first-class service, and Edmondson's guarantees value for money. All round a far, far better furniture store at Darwin Street, Blackburn.
A far, far better furniture store. Edmondson's.
Have you heard about the latest offer at Tracy's Garage, Wigan Road, Leyland? For the next 20 weeks, there's a weekly draw for household goods and food to a total value of £1,000. Yes, £1,000, plus free soup bowls and kitchen equipment. We're open daily 24 hours for petrol, diesel, groceries and top-line videos. And we also accept all major credit cards, plus Shell Agency, Shell Gold and Dial cards. So find out more and receive personal service at Tracy's Garage, Leyland Service Station, Wigan Road, Leyland.
See the fabulous new high-performance Toyotas now at John Wilding. The most powerful, normally aspirated 1.6 power units around, contained in the Corolla GT, Coupe and MR2. Each model is fuel-injected, equipped with a 5-speed gearbox, has side skirts and is capable of 0 to 60 in under 8.7 seconds. And don't forget the superb Toyota 2-litre Celica GT either. Fully air-conditioned, power steering, electric windows and a beautiful Flowline body shell. Arrange a test drive today at John Wilding of Banbury Garage, Morecambe or Dixon Road, Blackpool. Toyota, that's motoring.
Now do, Adam.
Hi, Alan. I've just come on about hitchhiking.
Go on.
I just want to say to people that when they're like driving somewhere and you go past an hitchhiker, just like give them a second thought.
Why should they?
Because most of them, like it was me today. I was trying to get home. I was trying to get back home after hitchhiking up last
Adam,
Friday.
I'm a motorist, so I will, on behalf of other motorists, accept your remarks as being addressed to me.
Right.
Why should I carry you in my car?
I'm not asking you. I'm not.
You are.
I'm
You're
asking
sticking your
you.
thumb out saying, carry me in your car. That is what that sign means. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, all right, you're right.
Why should I?
I mean, it's,
Why should I? Why should I give you a thought at all?
You should.
Why?
Right, I'm trying to get out. Right, today.
That's what you're trying to do. I'm asking you why I should. What responsibility to you do I have?
No, I'm asking you. out of the kindness of your heart, if you've got one.
No, you're not. You're actually creating a suggestion that I have some obligation to you. I asked you why I should give you a thought. You said I should. Tell me why.
Out of the kindness of your heart, you should at least give us a second thought.
Well, I'll give you a second one, and a third, and a fourth, and you'll still be stood there, if I choose.
But are you the sort of people that just drive
I'm
past...
not the sort of people, I'm an individual.
Right, are you the sort of person that just drive past someone and not give them a second thought? Or would you...
Quite frequently, I drive past people every day. Some of them sat in cars, some of them at bus stops.
hitchhikers.
Including hitchhikers. I very rarely pick up hitchhikers unless I can be fairly sure that they're not going to be a pain in the arse.
How do you mean by pain? What?
Well, hitchhikers, I'll tell you, some hitchhikers I've carried, they get in your car and they say, do you mind if I smoke? Now, quite honestly, at that juncture, I want to stop and say, get out.
Could you not just say no?
I could, and I do. I'm telling you what I feel. Now, why should I have that? Some of them get in and say, oh, this is a nice car, blah, 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 blah. What do you do for a living? Why the piggin' hell should I tell them?
He's only trying to make conversation.
I don't want him to make conversation.
So he'd rather you get in your car.
I'd rather he didn't get in the car, to be honest.
But you pick
what
some-
I'm
you-
trying...
you
You
stop
say
for a
if,
sec.
Adam. You say if I stop. Well, fine. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't. I only stop when I know they're going for a short journey, because, quite honestly, I do not want to be confined in a metal box with someone I don't know, someone I wouldn't choose to know if I met them, and someone who, quite honestly... There's no reason to be there other than he or she cannot afford to convey themselves. Now, that is their problem, not mine. And
So you don't think that-
and I speak on behalf of the collective motorists.
So you don't mind travelling long journeys bored?
I don't get bored.
Huh?
I don't find driving boring. And quite honestly, some of the hitchhikers I've picked up were more boring than any long journey I've ever been on.
Some when you pick them up.
Well, I have no way of knowing this, do I? I mean, one of the problems is, and it would help us tremendously, if hitchhikers all had those little signs saying where they want to go. That would help a lot.
Yeah,
But they don't.
I carry one of them.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. But that would help immensely, because so often you take the time to stop and they say, oh, no, thanks, I'm not going there. I think, why have I stopped? Why am I bothered with this? Why should I bother?
Yeah, I get your point there.
And I know, having hitchhiked myself, that you hitchhikers talk about good and bad lifts.
Yeah.
Don't you?
Yeah.
Well, who the piggin' hell are you to quantify what is good and bad? Somebody stops out of the kindness of their heart, your phrase, not mine, picks you up in their car, takes you some distance and puts you down at a place that is dissatisfactory to you, unsatisfactory to you, and you say, "Phew, that was a crap lift." Well, get stuffed.
I know. I got a lift on them last week.
We don't want to hear about the quality or otherwise of your lift.
They took me.
We don't want to hear. We do not want to hear. I'm sorry. Howdy, Bert.
All right, Alan. Alan.
We've made contact.
All right, Alan. Well, what it is, like, I've got this little problem, like, and I'm wondering if you could help me out.
I very much doubt it. We shall have a little break, and then we'll have the melodic moment. Shouldn't he have been called Burke rather than Bert?
Carpets, Easter sale now on. Open Bank Holiday Monday. Hundreds of rows to choose from. Prices from only 50 pence a square yard. At the Carpet Supermarket, Fletcher Road, Preston.
Have you heard about the latest offer at Tracy's Garage, Wigan Road, Leyland? For the next 20 weeks, there's a weekly draw for household goods and food to a total value of £1,000. Yes, £1,000, plus free soup bowls and kitchen equipment. We're open daily, 24 hours, for petrol, diesel, groceries and top-line videos. And we also accept all major credit cards, plus Shell Agency, Shell Gold and Dial cards. So find out more and receive personal service at Tracy's Garage, Leyland Service Station, Wigan Road, Leyland.
Blinking heck, Dave, why don't you get a decent radio to match this flash car?
Well, that one cost an arm and a leg, but it's never been much good.
Yeah, you need to contact West Horton Car Radio, mate. They've got superb systems by Blaupunkt and Panasonic. Hey, and they've got the Blaupunkt D-Stock range at less than half the normal price. None of this distortion like we're one of them.
Blaupunkt what?
Blaupunkt. It's German, ain't it? I thought you were supposed to be brainy. Hey, you can also get electric windows, vehicle alarms and car phones fitted by West Horton Car Radio.
Oh, find the right station with West Horton Car Radio, Church Street, West Horton. Phone West Horton 814-229 before you crack up.
Glendon Motors, Peugeot, Talbot.
We urgently need good used cars for our used car superstore, so we're giving better than ever part exchange allowances against new Peugeots right now. Call in our showroom and inspect Peugeot quality. Most models come with a choice of petrol, diesel or high-performance engines. Test drive the fabulous 205 or the dreamy new British-built 309. Whichever Peugeot you choose, you'll be glad you came to Glendon.
Glendon Motors, Peugeot, Talbot, Superstore.
Blackpool Road, Preston.
Right through the
That's taken from the album The Very Best of Elkie Brooks, and let me tell you, it's one of the best albums you can get in your shops at the moment. It's the one that's been advertised on television, and it's got some grand songs on it. Oh, she's a good turn, is Elkie.
Red Rose Radio.
Ring him if you dare.
Allan Beswick, the late night show.
Preston 561,000.
Red Rose Radio. All night long, all night.
Well, our first caller in this lump's got to be a joke. Hello, April.
April Fool.
Yes, I wondered what your second name was. Thank you very much, April. Ta-ra. April the giggler, it would seem. Hello, Tony.
Hello, Alan. We now have the proof to accuse you of being both a liar and a hypocrite.
Well, of course you have. Go on.
Right. This is perfect because we've got on just after the melodic moment. Now, you have always said that there's no planning or anything like that. You just pick them out of this record library or somebody throws them at you.
No, what I've always said is I don't pick them.
Who produces the show?
The show, if you're talking about the speech element, me. If you're talking about the music, I suppose if it is produced in any way, then it's the record selection, and that is provided on this piece of paper in front of me now by a Mr. David Lincoln, Esquire.
Damn good taste he's got, sir.
This is, well, I'm not sure that it's good taste, but he certainly is the arbiter of good taste in music in this building.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is you've got the final say on what's played. Excuse me.
I suppose I could veto any particular record, and, for example, this evening, I vetoed none. The only record I would veto on principle was anything sung by that cretin Prince. Anything else that's on the list I play. Yeah. But I must admit, I've got to own up to a little sin. I picked the Elkie Brooks one merely because somebody left the album in here. And I thought, ooh, I'm having one of that, because I'm playing it in the car at the moment.
Right, but you also produce your Sunday show, yeah?
Yes.
And your taste in music comes right through, not just the melodic moment, but your Sunday show.
Well, I don't pick the music on the Sunday show either.
No, hang on. I mean, we've got you now. We've got you by short and curly.
I do not pick the music on the Sunday show either.
Oh, come on.
I don't. Lincoln picks it. You will not believe this story, but it's the absolute gospel truth, right? Right. Now, you can check it. I don't know how. If you write to Dave Lincoln, I'll surely check it for you. But we used to have, on Red Rose Radio, all the presenters had a record of the week. I don't know whether you remember that far back. But all the presenters had a record of the week. And I never picked one for the 2.5 years we had them. Lincoln used to pick mine. He used to say what was my record of the week, because I'd have to listen to all the crap in order to find out. And the other day, I think it was Wednesday afternoon, I was in the building. I'm not usually in the daytime, and I was in the building in the daytime because I'd been interviewed by someone. And I was asked by a guy called Mark Griffiths, who works at Red Rose Radio, and he's into music. He doesn't work on the radio, but he's really into pop music. And he said to me, "What do I think of the Bangles' latest?"
Who?
Quite. Now, that was my immediate response. He said, "The Bangles, they're big." Then I said, "Oh." And I shouted across the office, "Hey, Dave!" To which Lincoln raised his head from his desk and said, "What?" I said, "What do I think of the Bangles' latest?" And he said, "You probably hate it." And I said to Mark, "I probably hate it." Because I didn't even know what he was talking about. I tell you, I went to a school a long time ago, when I was working at the Citizens Advice Bureau, and also working on a radio station not very far from here.
Yeah.
And at the end of this talk to a school of about 300 kids in Ormskirk, it was actually Ormskirk Crossall High, they were asking questions afterwards, as one does. And this kid at the back stood up and said, "What do you think of Hawkwind?" And I didn't even know what he was on about. Apparently Hawkwind was a pop group, or is a pop.
Some good band, though.
Was it really? Well, I said, "Well, I really don't know. What is it?"
Oh, they've got a silver machine, I believe.
Have they indeed?
They
Well,
did that.
fine. Well, I'm very pleased to hear this. You were about to tell me from whence I became a hypocrite.
Oh, definitely.
Go on.
Now then, when football is being mentioned,
Yes?
you have decreed that he's boring and shouldn't be listened to by anybody else. But when you're playing it, it's good subject. Especially in your long shorts and your short shorts.
Yeah, indeed. But, Tony, I don't think there'll be many similarities between the five-a-side game that we'll be partaking of on the 4th of May.
It's football.
Well, I'm glad you think so. I think you should come along and see it before you decide.
Well, I'm going to. Definitely. I've told you, I've got my wide-angle camera.
Yes, you've got your extremely wide. Well, I'll tell you where it's going to be now, because one or two things are firmed up, as they say. It's going to be at the Westview Sports Centre. Where is that, I hear you ask? And, well, you might. It hasn't opened yet, see? It's nowhere yet. It's they're at this moment trying to get the wee out of the water.
It's like one of them hotels in Spain.
Yes, it is at the moment. Yes, fair chance you're on your holidays. Anyway, the Westview Sports Centre is about to open in Preston, not very far from Red Rose Radio. I'm not sure of the address, but not very far from Red Rose Radio, and we'll give you the address nearer the time.
It's not on top of that car park, is it?
I hope not. No, you mean the death launch pad, the suicide launch pad. The guy that got that, you know. I know, but the guy that designed that won an award. and then was mauled to death by his guide dog. This is a true story. Anyway, I don't know how I made the catch. It was nice of you to call yet again.
Thank you very much, sir.
Ta-ra. And I think he lost as well. How do, Mike?
Allan Beswick is at it all. We did have a nation. When you turn the radio on, it's a sensation. How do Chodding, how do N, how do Wigan, how do Wit, how do Anton, how do Ken, how do Dev as well.
Well, thank you very much. I think he's just sneaked in a dedication or two there, really. Well done, Mike. How do Judd? John, sorry.
Thank you. Morning, Alan.
Morning.
I don't know if you've been up on dates, but I've had a bit of an argument with a mate of mine. In 1601, there was a law passed, the Great Elizabethan Poor Law, P-O-O-R.
The Poor Law, yeah.
Do you know anything about this?
Not really, no. I'll say not really, no.
No, I don't know much about it. I was just hoping you would, because in 1662, the law of settlement of poor was granted. Now, this has got me baffled.
I'll tell you where you can get information about it, John. I don't know where you live, but if you go to your local library, there will be a thorough explanation of it for you.
Because 1834, see, I like dates and history, so it's a favourite subject of mine.
I like dates.
Yeah, dates with the stones in the middle.
No, no, I like dates with members of the opposite sex, but never mind, go on.
1834, the Poor Law Amendment Act, Workhouse Establishment.
Yes.
Now then, my mate turned to me and said, well, the Great Elizabethan Poor Law was a law passed for the poor and one for the rich.
Well, it basically, I mean, basically what the Poor Law said was that the poor people had to be, they were trying to alleviate extreme poverty. Now, of course, poverty is a comparative value. You're poor. If you're a millionaire and you lose half your money, you're a half millionaire and you feel a bit impoverished. If you're a pauper and you find a fiver, you feel quite well off. So poverty is a sliding scale value, if you like. But the objective of the poor laws were to alleviate poverty. And
well, that's what I said to him. I said is that the law was made for the poor, is to pull them out of the SH1T.
SH1T, indeed. That is exactly what it was for. I very much doubt that it succeeded. Indeed, it isn't all that well at succeeding today.
Oh, I'm glad to hear it, because I won my fiver then.
I suggest you...
I'm not poor now.
Indeed. Ta-ra, John. But if you want a very thorough explanation, which is what I thought you were seeking, then you'll find it in a reference library, and I'll tell you, it's worth reading. Did you, for example, know, we were all talking about, a few years ago at least, we were talking about industrial legislation and how the employer and the employee contract should not be interfered with by government. And the very first piece of legislation, piece of law, if you like, to interfere with the relationship between an employer and his employee was passed by who?
You've got me there.
I'll tell you. Henry VIII. That goes back a bit, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Henry VIII passed the first bit of legislation.
Yeah, the Statute of Labourers, when it was brought out, that was back in 1351, would you believe?
Right. They go back a long way, the government interventions. Anyway, enough of this.
I live on the outskirts of Preston. That'll be the nearest library to me, will be Preston, won't it?
It's an excellent library for legal matters. It's near Dutton Foreshore, the reference library, and if you go in there, as I do frequently myself, and shove your face in a book, you'll get all you want to know.
Thanks very much, Alan.
I'll also tell you the librarians there are great and will help you and direct you to the right document. OK?
Thanks very much.
News time. Thanks for calling. Ta-ra!
The 1 o'clock news, this is Steve Allen. Loyalist gangs have gone on the rampage in a fresh outbreak of violence in Northern Ireland. Catholic homes were stoned in Lisburn, and the families of 2 policemen in Craigavon were forced to flee after their houses were attacked. In Belfast, cars, buses and vans have been hijacked and set on fire. The trouble erupted after a day of clashes between Protestants and police in Portadown, which has left nearly 40 people injured. 3 are in a serious condition in hospital. They're believed to have been hit by plastic bullets fired by police at the height of the rioting. The government's to pay the multi-million-pound cost of restoring Hampton Court after fire devastated the south wing, destroying historic art treasures. Lady Gale, the widow of D-Day hero General Sir Richard Gale, died in the blaze which was sparked by the candle she used in her bedroom. As Lindsay Taylor reports, palace staff are stunned.
It's disastrous, was how Hampton Court official Gerald Drayton described the charred remnants of finest architecture.
You just can't rebuild that, ever.
And the task of trying
another cathedral job. Multi-million pounds, several years of work.
The Environment Secretary, Kenneth Baker, says his department will pay for it.
So we've got to restore these galleries. It's a big job. We've got the craftsmen who can do it.
Meanwhile, staff like Fred Allen, who helped save the paintings, are still getting over the shock.
First thing in the morning, you get out, you don't expect to go into a room full of smoke.
So too is the Queen and the royal family.
Mexican authorities say all 165 people on board the airliner which crashed northwest of Mexico City have been killed. The plane, which was heading for Los Angeles, crashed in flames in mountains 80 miles from the Mexican capital. Cocaine users in North Derbyshire are being warned they could instead have bought cyanide. The alert follows the death of a man. Peter McNerney reports.
Cocaine users in Chesterfield could be snorting death, according to police. A 29-year-old man was found dead at his home after taking a lethal dose of potassium cyanide. Anyone who's been in contact with the man, Robert Leversley, is being asked to get in touch with the police immediately. They fear he may have passed on some of the poisonous substance to other people, thinking it was cocaine. It's in a white crystalline form and just a small amount is deadly. Peter McNerney, IRN, Chesterfield.
A Rolls-Royce has been involved in a head-on collision with a Datsun car in Clwyd, North Wales, leaving 3 people dead and 3 seriously injured. All 6 victims were in the Datsun. 14 Britons have been freed by the Tunisian authorities after 2 weeks' detention. They were among the crew of a Norwegian salvage vessel held by Tunisian customs officials. One Briton has already set sail for Gibraltar, the others are due home this morning. Express newspapers are making more than a third of their 7,000-strong workforce redundant. The company says it's agreed terms with all the unions in a deal which means over 2,500 people will take voluntary redundancy or early retirement. Cricket, the West Indies have beaten England by 8 wickets in the final one-day international in Trinidad to take the series by 3 matches to 1. England made 165 for 9 and the West Indies reached their target with 7 overs to spare. Independent Radio News.
For new and used cars, look no further than Barker's. With 150 used cars in stock and ready to drive away from an incredible £100 to £10,000. Scoop purchase of 1986 Cherry and Sunny models means unbelievable and unrepeatable prices while stocks last. For unbeatable deals on Nissan vehicles, hurry down to Barker's Nissan, Ribbleton Lane, Preston. Phone Preston 704 704. People buy better at Barker's.
Barker's Preston for Nissan.
Ring him if you dare.
3.5 minutes past midnight. Give us a ring if you wish to converse. We're here till 2 on Preston 561,000. Me. That's what's best. How do, Victor?
Hello, Alan.
Hello.
I want to talk about alcohol abuse.
Go on.
Well, I'm a 30-year-old alcoholic, and I'm going into hospital in a week or so to dry out. And I was interested in what the person before was saying and what you were saying, I mean, about France and everything, because I went to France for a little while, and I mean, they have Pernod for breakfast, you know, and I mean, you sort of go there and they pour half a tumbler full of Pernod out and top it up with water, and that's sort of breakfast. I mean, I feel quite nervous being on the radio, but I just really want to warn people about the abuse of a drug which is so readily available. I mean, you start off drinking when you're 16 or whatever, and you go into the pub with your mates, and then pressures build up in life, etc., etc., and you have that extra pint to calm you down, and before you know it, you end up on a bottle a day. I mean, I am perfectly sober as I am speaking to you. I mean, I'm not sober. No, I'm not sober. I mean, I've had my fix for the day, if you like.
Victor, why are you bothering to go into hospital tomorrow? You're wasting your time.
Well, because I drink a bottle a day. I mean,
well, when you come out of hospital, Victor, when you come out of hospital, you will continue to drink a bottle a day.
Why?
I don't know why. Perhaps that's something you ought to consider.
Well, no, I just want to...
Victor, I don't want to hear you telling others how to avoid alcoholism until you find out how to do it. Because you have not. You're going into hospital to dry out, and yet today you've had your, quote, fix. Well, I'm sorry. I don't think the National Health Service should accommodate you until you're prepared to give it up.
So, as far as you're concerned...
As far as I'm concerned, Victor, you are a waste of space. And if you want to do something about it, you do it from inside. Don't waste my pig in taxes. Don't clutter up a hospital bed until you've got the guts to pack it in.
Well, what would you say to a heroin addict? The same thing?
I would say exactly the same thing to a heroin addict. I have no sympathy for people who are addicts, go into institutions in order to be dried out and then come out and use it again. And that is exactly what you're going to do, Victor. I can tell just by what you're saying. You're not regretting being alcoholic other than your wimpy self-satisfaction, your belief that you've had a hard time. Stuff it, Victor. If you want to pack up drinking, you do it, but don't bore me with it. When you have done, then come on and warn people. Till then, shut your rap. Go and dry out if you must. But when you've dried out, stay dry. Otherwise, you're a jerk. Yes, Victor. So come to terms with that, Victor.
Yes,
as far as I'm concerned, you are one of life's failures. If you wish to redeem yourself from that, then I hope the state will give you all the assistance possible. But if you're going in to dry out so you can do it again, then quite honestly, I hope you overdose on the stuff soon, because you're costing me money.
What's a failure?
A failure is someone who cannot live with him or herself. That, Victor, is you.
Yeah, one flew over the cuckoo's nest, you know.
I don't want to hear about the films you've seen, pal. I don't want to hear it. You can find all the excuses in the world. There's only one reason you drink, Victor, and that is because you are an inadequate. Now, you get it together, or you go under. I don't care in either direction, but don't be so pretentious and so arrogant as to believe that you, a confessed and obvious failure, have the right to advise others.
I know.
Then you get it sorted, Victor.
I
don't want anything, Victor. You get it sorted, then you ring back. Otherwise, push off.
I just want to warn that
You're not in a position to warn, Victor. You're a failure, you're a jerk, you're a nothing. Do something about it or die. I don't care which. You choose. But don't clutter up this programme with your self-pity. Don't clutter up this programme with your arrogance. There's only one arrogant person on this show, and that's me. Now, you sort your alcohol out, or you stay off this show.
You must have been to an AA meeting.
I don't care. I've never in my life been to an AA meeting.
Yes, I know what alcohol does to people, self-pity.
Victor, I don't want to hear any of this. I don't want to hear you bimbling on this programme. If I want anything out of this conversation, what I might want, if I really bothered to care, is I might want you to get out of it, to get out of alcohol. And until you have, Victor, I don't even want to speak to you. I don't want to acknowledge you exist.
So who drives me out then? If people
I don't really care who dries you out, Victor, but coming on here and saying I'm going into hospital tomorrow and dry out and telling me that you've had your daily fix says to me that you'll be back on it when you come out. And quite honestly, I don't want to dry you out so that you can go and fill yourself full of whatever your particular poison is. Yet again, the health service is not there for you to score points, if you like, to revitamise yourself. Go away, Victor. You're a waste of space. When you've become a human being again, I just might come down and have a conversation with you. But till then, you stay where you are. You're nothing. Sort it, Victor, or die with it. But don't bore me with it. Hello, Bob.
Hello, Alan?
Yes?
Yesterday, I should say. Alan?
Yes?
Today, right, our cat got shot. By next door. With an air rifle. Alan? Alan?
What do you want me to do?
I'm saying...
Wear a black armband?
No.
Well, you've made your statement.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Right. I want to know what I can do about it.
Is it dead?
Yeah, of course it is.
Well, you can't do anything then.
No,
All the resurrections happened on Sunday.
Well, what can I do?
Report it to the RSPCA and to the police force.
What will the police do?
Ask them. I'll do Eric.
Alan? Alright.
Is that it?
No. But I've got my eye on nowhere to go.
Well, what do you want me to do about it? I'll do Margaret.
Oh, that's me.
Well, say hello then.
Hello.
Well done. Now what do you want?
I just want to say hello.
Well, you have done. I'll do Malcolm.
Roses are red, violets are blue. I'm a dyslexic.
I do remember that one, but it's still a belter. And all the dyslexics will be laughing if they understood it, and there's nothing I can do about it. It's funny. Ta-da! Go on.
Can you spell dyslexic?
Nobody can. I've heard it. Get off. Ta-da.
Bye-bye.
Have you heard about the latest offer at Tracy's Garage, Wigan Road, Leyland? For the next 20 weeks, there's a weekly draw for household goods and food to a total value of £1,000. Yes, £1,000, plus free soup bowls and kitchen equipment. We're open daily 24 hours for petrol, diesel, groceries and top-line videos. And we also accept all major credit cards, plus Shell Agency, Shell Gold and Dial cards. So find out more and receive personal service at Tracy's Garage, Leyland Service Station, Wigan Road, Leyland.
Did you know that 3 people out of 7 in Lancashire have relations in Australia? Red Rose Radio and National Travel World do, and that's why we want to invite you to our Australian evening at Preston Guildhall on Friday, April the 11th. There will be the fabulous Jim Bowen's Bullseye and full cabaret show with great prizes to be won. Everyone attending the show will go into the grand draw for a return aircraft seat with Qantas to Melbourne or Sydney, and the winner of the Bullseye game will win 2 weeks holiday in Australia. There'll be lots of giveaways and lots of surprises, so don't miss out. Book your ticket at any branch of National Travel World or Red Rose Reception now. They're only £2 each, and a bus will run you to and from the show free of charge. Make it a night to remember with Jim Bowen's Bullseye, Qantas, National Travel World and Red Rose Radio on Friday, April the 11th.
How do, Robert?
How do, Alan? Roses are red, violets are blue. Some poems rhyme, but this one doesn't.
That was dreadful.
Yeah, I know. Do you want to tell you a joke, Alan?
No, thank you. If that's the standard of your humour, I think we can get by without your jokes, Robert. Ta-ra.
It's a cracking joke.
I'm sure it is. We'll never know. Well, we may know later. We have another Robert. How do? Good Lord, you over-peaking there, fellow. Hello, Stuart. Hello, Stuart.
How do, Al?
Yes, what do you want?
I've just been looking through the papers for a job, right?
I don't know whether that's right or not, Stuart.
Yeah, it is, right.
I don't know, Stuart.
Well, it is.
Well, why do you keep asking me?
Well, they're advertising for a Muir Arthur, right?
A what?
A Muir Arthur.
Are they indeed?
Yeah, so can you tell me what one is?
No, but if you don't know what one is, you won't need to apply, will you? I'll do to Chris.
Hello, Alan.
Hello, Chris.
Hi, it's reference the extra, the licensing hours.
Yes.
I've just spent a couple of years in Scotland, and as you know, they've completely reviewed their licensing.
Indeed, they have.
And the publicans that I met didn't have any problems at all with the extra time they were putting in.
Absolutely, they were perfectly happy.
Yeah, they were very happy.
Indeed, there is some evidence, although the evidence is questionable, but there is some evidence that alcohol-related problems have diminished. But of course, it's an unfair assessment because at the same time as the new licensing laws, there has also been a drastic reduction in people's wealth, and therefore the money they've had to spend on booze has been less. But it does appear, on the face of it at least, that it has diminished alcohol-related problems.
Yeah, and I agree with that as well, because I've also had a couple of years in Norway where their licensing laws are horrendous, and their actual alcohol-related problem is probably the greatest in Europe. So
that may or may not be the case, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think we can say that our alcohol problem is a direct cause, and when I say our, I mean the country's, a direct cause or is directly attributable to our archaic and ludicrous licensing laws, but it must have some contribution to make, in that it forces people who want to drink at what we would define legally as odd times to do so in private, and drinking in private is one of the early steps of getting on the trail of alcohol abuse.
Right, yes. So you do think then that our licensing laws at the moment are pretty archaic and ludicrous?
They are archaic in that they've been in existence for quite some time. I also think they're ludicrous. Quite honestly, I I addressed the same question to that problem as I addressed earlier to a chap who said butchers should be closed on Good Friday. Why should I, as an individual, a reasonably sensible adult, not be entitled to buy what is, after all, a legal commodity at any time of the day or night? Why should I have no desire to, being a non-alcohol drinker, virtually, but why should I not, when I've finished this programme, be able to walk into the Windsor Castle round the corner and have a pint of bitter if I so desire? I've just done my day's work. Why can't I go and have a drink?
Great. I
The
agree
answer
with
is
you.
I cannot.
100%. Thanks
Then-
very much.
Then you must be wrong. Ta-ra.
Good night.
How do, Paul?
Hello, Alan.
Yep.
I'm just phoning up to say...
I know you're phoning up, Paul. That's how the programme works. What do you want, now that you have?
I'm just saying I'm a driver.
Well?
And, you know, I'm up and down the road every day.
Well, so am I, Paul.
Yeah, but it's bank holiday. I've come up the road and I've just noticed...
That's the best place to drive. It's very dangerous on the pavement.
Yeah, but I've noticed the way people are driving with the caravans, everything else.
They don't drive caravans, they tow them.
Well, they tow them. Well, they
What have you got to say, Paul?
Well, I'm disgusted at the amount of people who are going up the motorway and they can't drive them.
They can, just not as well as you would have.
They've not got the sense.
What sense?
Road sense.
They have some, they've not got enough.
No.
Are you saying they have no road sense?
A bit.
So you're saying they do have a bit?
Yes.
So they have got some and not enough is a correct statement?
No, that's right.
It isn't a correct... No, that's right. You're talking gibberish, man. No, that's right. What does that mean?
They've
Yes,
not got
that's
enough,
right.
you know
No,
what I mean?
Well, I've said that.